Good Monday morning. It's that time of the week again, the beginning where we have so much opportunity in front of us to kick ass and live head first all week long. It's time for Monday Morning with Megs. What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday to you. The first actual Monday of September. I think in the episode that dropped last week, I maybe said that was the first Monday. I'm not actually sure because I recorded a whole bunch of episodes before I went to London. I was in London for 3 weeks, if you didn't catch that. And so I recorded a bunch so that they would keep dropping, so I didn't leave you hanging, doing all the things. And I feel like I referenced in that most recent episode that it was the first Monday. Neither here nor there. This is actually the first Monday, and it is exciting because Mondays always are, and new months are exciting. There's a big transition. School is getting started, whatever that's looking like for you. Maybe you're excited about it. Maybe you are really freaking anxious. Maybe you're really pissed off. Who even knows? I'm still working full-time as a school psychologist. We just had our workshop week last week, and it was weird as hell to be doing all virtual stuff and coordinating all of that. And we have all this different kinds of paperwork we have to do. It's just insane. It's very, very strange to be so disconnected from the people you work with, from the students we're serving. And I guarantee you, no matter where you're at, somebody on the other side of whatever role you're playing in any type of school experience or really just work from home, other people are feeling just as shitty and nervous and unsure and uncertain as you are. So everybody just needs to listen to some Monday Morning with Megs, get a little positivity up in here, and make all of the things happen. So let's see. I had been in London for 3 weeks. Other exciting things that have happened, if you didn't catch it already, last Thursday, September 3rd, my brand new podcast launched. And it has been a fun but very emotional, kind of vulnerable project for me to put together and put out into the world for other people to listen to experience, to learn from, to grow from, is my hope, and to really just start to feel more connected. And it's targeted, of course, at LGBTQ plus women and talking about the coming out journey from, if you're thinking about coming out, if you recently came out, if you've been out for a long time and things are just difficult. There are different challenges kind of everywhere along the journey. And so what I'm really trying to do is give people a space where they can hear other stories, where they can feel less alone, where they can get kind of actionable hope, right? That's kind of what Head First Radio was all about too, because the message is the same. My message hasn't changed from Head First Radio over to Out What Now. It's just kind of living head first through the gay lens, which is really, really powerful for people, I think, to see that they are not alone in that experience, because it can be very isolating. You can feel very lonely and like you just don't know what's gonna come around the corner or how you're gonna get through it on any given day, depending on what your experience is. So I'm so excited to be putting that out into the world. If you are an ally, it is also great for allies to tune into, because there are some just very real and raw LGBT experiences that we're sharing and talking about over there. And I think it could be really helpful for allies to hear some of what that experience really is like, because when the episodes are being recorded, really it's what you could call like an affinity space where you have two people who are in the community talking about things that you would really only experience if you are a part of the community. There's just no way that a straight ally would ever be able to fully understand what that's like. And it doesn't mean that you necessarily will, but it kind of gives you that opportunity to be a fly on the wall and understand maybe where somebody in your life who's going through that experience might be at, how they might be feeling, and how you can better support them based on the conversations we're having. So that's kind of a long explanation, but it's a very exciting project. I think it's really powerful and is going to be really powerful for a lot of people who need that connection or who need to see that they have the potential to have a new community, and there are other people out there who are in a similar space to them, and they're not alone, because I think that's really what all of us want, is to feel like we're not the only one out here experiencing this really hard stuff or fighting these battles or doing the things. So make sure you check it out. If you know anyone who could use the message, please share it with them. If you tune in, make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review. It helps so much for the show to grow and for other people to get the message. That's really what it's about. It's not about like vanity statistics, like I got so many downloads. It's about who is out there who needs this message and how can we make sure we get it in front of them. One of the ways to help me and the other people working on this show to get this message out is to leave the rating and write a review. It doesn't have to be super long, paragraphical, overly detailed, but it makes a huge difference. So I'd be super appreciative if you would head on over and hit that up. If you know anyone who serves LGBT people, who might be able to share it with clients, therapists, or counselors, or educators, or whatever, who might be able to benefit from it or benefit by sharing it with people that they serve, that would be great too. So check it out. It's a good time. It has a very similar flavor to Head First Radio because obviously I'm still hosting the show. So I really don't change whether I'm talking on Head First Radio. I mean, I'm just as gay over here as I am over there. So that's the way that it is, and it's pretty exciting. On the more back on the Monday Morning with Megs vibe here, the message I want to bring to you today, to bring into your week, to help you kind of recenter and get back to where you're trying to go, comes from one of my favorite things that happens this time of year. It kicks off this week literally because it is the NFL and football. I love them both. I love the Packers and I love Aaron Rodgers. I love the way that he plays, but I also the reason I like Aaron Rodgers, and I know a lot of people don't, but stay with me. If you're like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is such a douchebag. He's so arrogant. He drank Purple Crush in a press conference, whatever. If like you're trying to be that guy, like you can turn it off if you want, but I really do have a good takeaway here. But one of the reasons that I liked Aaron Rodgers initially was way back in, what was that? 2008, I believe. In 2008, when there was this big controversy between Brett Favre, like retired, and then he didn't want to retire. And then they're like, well, we're going to have Aaron Rodgers take over. And it was this big dramatic summer-long thing. At that point, Aaron was being interviewed, asked all these really hard questions where he could have been a total douchebag and a dick. And he was like, you know what? I am just controlling what I can control. I'm going out, working hard. I'm going to do whatever I can for the team. If that's in the backup role, I'll do it. If it's in the starter role, I'll do it. But I'm just making sure that I have my head where it needs to be so that I can show up for this team. And, you know, a lot of people kind of like talk the talk like that. But I thought it was really impressive for a young player in a very, very difficult situation. And that is one of the reasons that I started to just really like him kind of as what I know of him as a human. And this week I was watching a press conference that he did, because I watch a bunch of press conferences and I really like following training camp and those kinds of things. And one of the reporters asked him about a couple of his teammates, two of his best buddies on the team, one of the backup quarterbacks, Tim Boyle, and one of the tight ends, who's a big-time veteran in the league, Mercedes Lewis, also known as Big Dog, had mentioned to reporters or whatever that Aaron is in like a really good mood. He's in a really good kind of emotional headspace and just seems like he's having a lot of fun in training camp. He's been playing really well, doing all the things. And so the question was, what's got you in such a good mood, or what's going on? Where you at emotionally? Because there's supposed to be a big controversy because the Packers drafted a quarterback in the first round, and like, oh my God, they're planning for the future. They're going to get rid of him. Is Aaron going to be chippy? Is he going to be like Brett Favre was? And all these questions, all these stories that people create uh, for, clickbait and the media and all of this stuff. And Aaron gave a very Aaron response. And he said, having the extra time that we've gotten with COVID for the people, there are some people that it's been very beneficial for, and that would include him because he has spent so much time working on himself and kind of working from the inside out. And what he was talking about was, he said, when you really work on loving yourself and you start to then love yourself more and you start to feel more confident and whatever, when you love yourself more, you're able to love others better. And when we love more, when we're loving ourselves, when we're loving on other people, you're just kind of naturally in a better mood because you're walking around sort of sharing that light. We talk about the light all the time, right? You got to be the light. You got to bring the energy that you want to be around and be there to lift other people up. And he said, yeah, when you love more, you're in a better mood and then you can have more fun and then you play better, which is something that I have talked about 1,000,000 times, where when you are chilling out, you're having more fun, you're working on your shit, you're doing the little things, you put yourself in a space to be able to have more fun and to also be more successful in the things that you want to be successful at, whatever that is for you. And he also talked, he was super headfirst in this interview. He was also talking about taking kind of a critical look at what his play had been over the past couple years, because he just hasn't been playing as well. He hasn't been as accurate. People are kind of debating, is he like losing it a little bit, getting older? Is he hurt? What's going on? And he said what he did was he was taking a look at what's gone well. He's taken a very critical look at the things that haven't gone as well, and then kind of tried to line up like, well, last time things were going really well, when I'm having an MVP season, or we've done really well as a team, or maybe the two of those things have combined in one. I took a look at what things, in my daily routine, or the people I was around, or the things that I was doing, what was different then than it is now, identified what the differences were, and then tried to re-implement them into my routine. And now I've had a really good camp where I've had a lot of fun. I'm playing well. I'm feeling good. I'm playing loose, doing all of the things. And I thought that was so powerful, because this isn't about being special. This isn't about being a gifted athlete. This is about being intentional and paying attention to the things that you want in your life, the way you want your life to look, what you want to achieve, how you want to perform in any realm of your life, in your career, in your relationships, in your health and fitness, whatever. Taking a look at what you want that to look like, if you've had any semblance of that before, or when things have gone really well, and then making adjustments to try and see if little tweaks in your day might help you to get back to a place where you believe you have once been, or you can maybe adopt things that other people are doing who are in a space that you want to be in. And it's not, the keys to success aren't specific to Aaron Rodgers, Tony Robbins, Bill Gates. Like the little things, if you look at people who are successful, like wildly successful in whatever their craft is, the elements, like the granular pieces, the little things are the same. They all will talk about having a morning routine. They'll all talk about things like journaling, meditation, giving yourself grace. They'll talk about asking better questions, investing in yourself, paying attention to the people you're surrounding yourself with. None of this shit is different, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter what level, what stage you're on, if everyone knows your name or if no one knows your name. The keys to success are pretty much exactly the same. The foundational pieces. Obviously, you need different types of skills to do different types of things, but the foundation of putting yourself in a space where you have the mindset and the not motivation, but the commitment level to just get yourself to a space where then you're going to be able to focus on what the specifics of your career, your relationship, or your fitness, nutrition routine, those types of things. Anyone can learn skills, but specific skills, but it's those foundational things where you're in a space where you're ready to learn, where you know how to practice, where you don't let failure get you down, where you ask the right questions, you reach out, you do the little things. It's those foundational things that are true for everyone, whether you're Aaron Rodgers or not. And another thing, he didn't say this in this interview, but I remember him saying this. I believe it was in 2011, actually, because I remember putting it. I was like one of the one of the quotes I put on my like Facebook profile or something, and it was just a couple years into Aaron being the starter, and I believe he was the MVP that season and whatever. But in a press conference, somebody asked him, like, did it surprise you that you had a really good game today, or were you just feeling it or whatever? And one of the things he said was, no, it didn't surprise me that I did well. I expect to do well because I've done the little things every day that make those results more likely. And I think that right there is money in the bank. It's paying attention to the behaviors that you have and the things that you're doing instead of without attaching them to a specific result. But it's like, if you do the little things that probably are going to result in a good outcome, it doesn't really surprise you when the outcome is good. And of course, there are going to be things that are out of your control. In sports, you can't control the weather, what your teammates do, the referees. You can't control those things. And just like in life, you can't control what other people say, how long it takes you on your commute to work. You can't control what emotional state your partner is in, or all of these little different things. You can't control those, but you can control the little things that you do. So I'm getting super chatty here, but I love football and the Elwood Now podcast. So I had a lot to talk about today. But I think that this week, if you can just hone in on those little things, if you can go inward and pay attention to some of the little tweaks that you could make in your morning routine, or what you're reading, or the way you're doing things that because most of us can identify what's getting in our way, right? But if you can hone in on the little things that are going to make your bigger results more likely, you're going to have a better week. If you maybe focus in on like your gratitude practice, just 3 things every day that you are zeroing in on for gratitude, that will probably lift your mood, that will probably put you in a space to love yourself more, love the life that you're currently living and who you are in this moment more. It will make you more able to go out into the world, be the light, love other people. You'll have more fun. You'll be more successful. And it just all kind of creates this domino effect. So starting there, and then paying attention to what the results are. And if you're not getting the result you want, then you can go back, you can assess, you can make changes, and it'll be dope as hell. So I believe the season kicks off on Thursday. Who knows what'll happen with it with COVID, if there's an outbreak and all of that stuff. But I am freaking excited about it. But I'm also excited that there are players out there, and there are a ton of them. It's not just Aaron Rodgers. I just am a Packer fan, so that's whose voice I'm hearing the most. And I think these things that you can take away from people who have been successful in a very specific craft, but that can be easily generalized to your own life, are one of the cool things about learning about people beyond football, which is completely inconsequential in the grander scheme of things. But there are things we can learn from people who have achieved a very high level of success in where they're at, though it really comes down to a lot of the basics that you or I or, the guy down the street can all do in our own lives. So hone in on the little things, try to stack up your successes, and you will more than likely have a pretty kick-ass successful week. So that is all I have for you this morning. Make sure, if you haven't already, you check out the Outward Now podcast, leave a 5-star rating and review, share it with somebody who needs the message. I would so appreciate it, because it's pretty dope and the world needs more of it. And the world needs more of you in the best state you can possibly be. So I hope this episode was helpful. I will catch you back here next week on Monday. Until then, make sure that you're having fun, being yourself, and living head first. Thank you so much for tuning in to Head First Radio today. I hope you had a good time, got some value, and are leaving feeling a little lighter and more fired up than you were before you pushed play. If that is the case, I would be so appreciative if you would take the time to leave a 5-star rating and review, and or share this episode with somebody you feel could use the message and the opportunity to start living head first in their own life. I'm so appreciative of your support, and I can't wait to catch you back here soon.